Hello everybody and welcome to the Alignment Center's Learning Center. Everything you need to know and nothing you don't. The Learning Center is where you learn to better manage, monitor, and measure your lifestyle habits. In this video, we're talking about the Metabolic Assessment Form as it relates to the 28-day comprehensive cleanse. What is the Metabolic Assessment Form? It's a form comprised of over 150 questions in over 20 different categories. Why use it? Because most people use the scale and the scale alone to measure the success of a cleanse. No good. Well, why not? Because it doesn't take long to realize that you can do a really bad cleanse and lose a lot of weight, and do a really good cleanse and not lose any weight at all. We need additional tools to tell us what the scale can't. That's why we use the Metabolic Assessment Form. I'm going to show you both how to fill it out and then how to score it. If you don't have one printed off, go ahead and do that now so you can complete it real time as you watch. Now, there's 4 parts to the Metabolic Assessment Form. Let's go through them one by one. We will be using Porter Rockwell's assessment form as an example. Now, part 1, located at the top, these are your 5 major health concerns. Now, you don't have to have 5, but if you have more than 5, just pick the top 5. Now, part 2 here, this is your questionnaire part of the form, both front and back. So in part 2, what you're going to do is read the question and then circle the number that most accurately answers the question. 0 being never to rarely experiencing it. 1, rarely to sometimes experiencing it. 2, sometimes to frequently experiencing it. And 3, indicating frequently to always experiencing it. Now, part 3 towards the bottom of page 2 are the dietary lifestyle questions. Again, answer those as accurately as possible. And then part 4 at the bottom are the list of any medications and supplements you're currently taking. Now, upon completion, we have a very comprehensive document that is an extremely accurate symptoms profile. Now, many people, upon completion of this assessment form, ask at this point, hey, how come my doctor didn't ask me all these questions? I know, right? Very extensive, very thorough, very cool. Now, let's go back to part 2 and scoring. Now, off in the margins here, put the number that equals the total number of questions for that category. Then, put a line over the number as shown. Now, you're going to count up the points accumulated in each category. And you'll do this by totaling the numbers circled in each category. So for example, in category 1, if you circled a 3, a 2, and a couple of 1s, your total would be 7. Place that number on top of the other number in the margin. So now, it looks like this. Now once you've done that for all categories, identify the category with the highest score. Now the highest score is not the biggest number on top, but the largest as far as the fraction. The largest fraction wins, that's your number 1 category. Meaning that's the biggest number and that's the section that you have the most symptoms in. Now the second highest fraction comes in second and so on. Now for Porter, the highest category or the category that he experiences the most symptoms in is category 7, where he scores a 21 out of 12 or 1.75. The second category that he experiences the most symptoms in is category 8, scoring 8 out of 8. And coming in third is category 1, scoring 7 out of 10, or 0.7. Now, the very cool part is you will repeat filling out all 4 parts at the end of the cleanse. Now what you have is a side-by-side comparison, a before and after score in each category comparing the start to the finish. Let's see how Porter did. Now, part 1 looks like he has less complaints. He's sleeping better, his digestion is no longer a concern, and he's not as tired. Now let's look at part 2. Now, on a successful cleanse, the 3s should move to 2s, the 2s should move to 1s, and the 1s should move to 0s, in general. Now for Porter, taking those same top 3 categories, category 7 went from 21 out of 12 down to 7 out of 12. Nice change. Category 8 went from 8 out of 8 to 4 out of 8. Not bad. And category 1 went from 7 out of 10 down to 4 out of 10. Great job, Porter. Good drop in scores. Looks like the cleanse was a very good success, improving in all categories. Very useful tool to not only see what changed, but how much quantitatively it changed. 20%, 50%, 80%, a concrete value. Now it's important to see what changed, as well as what didn't change or changed very little. That helps us identify where to put our focus for the next step. Now part 3 looks like his stress dropped and he cleaned up his diet. And part 4 at the bottom, not much to change there. Now, 10 seconds for the disclaimer. None of the information presented is meant to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose anything whatsoever. This assessment tool is simply used to identify imbalances in body function and physiology. Okay, perfect. Now for the category breakdown. What do these symptoms in the different categories of Part 2 correlate to? Well, they suggest imbalances in normal body function, obviously. Thank you so much for taking a proactive approach to your health. Thanks for watching. And thank you for getting your lifestyle more in alignment and enjoying better overall health with Step 1 of the Section 89 program, the Comprehensive Cleanse. Now, here's the breakdown of the different categories of Part 2. Then go ahead and use this key to identify the organ, tissue, or gland of each category. Go ahead and rank your categories from the most symptoms down to the least symptoms. Bingo! You're done. Congratulations in completing and assessing the metabolic assessment form as it relates to the comprehensive 28-day cleanse.